Welcome, everybody, to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall, the SCSRA All-Star Champion, here at Daytona, getting ready for the Clash at Daytona here in the Intensity Apparel Shop Truck Series in the SCSRA. Again, my name is Josh Hall. We're getting ready for an exciting race here tonight. The kickoff of the season, no points on the line. This is just the Clash, sets the pole sitter for next week's opening race, as well as kind of gets everybody familiar with everybody out on the racetrack. So this is going to be a good one. As always, we appreciate you joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or over on Kick. We do appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcast. We got about a minute left before qualifying gets underway. A few new faces and a few new places here tonight. We see the 41 of Chuck Balance in a different ride in that Doobie machine as opposed to the green and black machine we've seen him in quite a few other times. Riley Gomes still running that channel lock scheme. Good to see Riley back here in the SCSRA Truck Series. And a new sponsor, of course, Intensity. So we have our shop now, IntensityApparel.shop, and you can find us at IntensityRacing.com for your hats, t-shirts, and all sorts of apparel for your racing needs. So if you are a racer and looking for either 1 or 100 racing shirts, you can check us out over there and we can get you all set up. So check us out over at IntensityRacing.com. Practice has just concluded and we're getting ready to get qualifying underway here tonight. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. It's going to be a good one. We're excited to get racing once again here in the SCSRA. Well, let's see who our first drivers are to make their way out onto the racetrack. It looks like our first driver will be the 43 of David Hartney in that SCSRA scheme truck here tonight. Also see the return of Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence here tonight. It's good to see him. School vacation week, so he's able to race with us here tonight. He's going to be a bit of a part-timer, so it's going to be exciting to see him out on the racetrack. We've got Matt Allen back on the racetrack, just making his way off of pit road. And here's a newcomer, the 3 of Dan Spears. Nashville, Tennessee native, making his way out onto the racetrack. Glad to see Blaze Richardson also back from a little hiatus. Had some computer issues, knocked him out at the end of last season. But he's back as well. So it's good to see some familiar names once again. Here's a 34 of Rick Ward, also returning this year. A couple more new faces here. The 14 of Ryan Likens and the 214 of Tim Likens. So we'll be making sure not to mix these two up out on the racetrack. As Dave Hartney comes across the stripe to take the white flag on his qualifying attempt. Currently fastest on the leaderboard. But we all know it doesn't matter how fast you are in qualifying. It's about who works with you and who can get you to the front here, as you will definitely need some help and you're not going to be able to do it alone here at Daytona. We saw that in the real Daytona races this past weekend. Hopefully this race will be just as exciting as what we saw this weekend. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence up to the top of the leaderboard. Rick Ward currently in second. Riley Gomes currently your third fastest truck. As Hartney comes down across the stripe, He's going to jump up into the 3rd position. Here comes Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence down across the stripe. And his first lap was actually quicker than the second. Rick Ward down across the stripe. Again, first lap quicker than the second. He's going to stay in the 2nd position currently. There is the 68 of Devin Butchnow running new colors this season, supporting the series sponsorship of Intensity Racing Apparel, IntensityApparel.shop. It'll take me a little bit to get that off the tongue. It's brand new for us, so we're looking forward to the partnership here. And here's Blaze Richardson. New look for him as well in that 18 machine. Very Evernham Racing looking machine. As Ryan Gomes in that Cat 5.5 has jumped up to the top of the podium, or top of the speed charts. And he comes across the stripe. And just like everyone else, his second lap is a little bit slower, but currently the fastest truck out there, as Blaze is going to pull it down onto the apron here. And here comes the 88. This is Kevin Graham. Yes, I know it says Sarah up there, but this is Kevin Graham coming off of turn number 4. Another one of our rookie drivers coming down to the stripe to start his first of 2 laps. Right there, painting that yellow line through turns 1 and 2. Trying to keep that truck right on that line, taking the shortest way around the racetrack. So he comes off of turn number 4 and down the short chute towards the tri-oval. Let's see where this lap is going to put Kevin on his first lap. And Kevin Graham jumps up into the 7th position. Here's a driver we expect to see on the front row here tonight. 2 drivers left to qualify, really. We expect to see these 2 making a splash up towards the front. That is the 8 of Eddie Morris and the 84 of Dave Wright, both neon drivers. As D. Wright makes his way off of turn number 2. See Eddie Morris right up against the wall. Let's see what Eddie can do here on his second lap. Here's D. Wright coming down off of turn number 4, down to the stripe. Both these drivers are going to give it their all here on this final lap. Eddie right there on the yellow line coming through turns 3 and 4. And coming down to the stripe. See if he puts that truck down on the apron here to take the shortest way around. No, he's going to stay right up on the racetrack. Eddie Morris is going to qualify in the 11th position. And now here comes D. Wright off of turn number 4. He's going to bring it right down onto the apron as they come down across the stripe. And David Wright jumps up to the top of the leaderboard with a 52.21. How about that? Our top top 4 separated by less than 1,000th of a second. 5th place, 1/100th of a second. We're going to take a look at those final qualifying times in just a moment, but wow, those are some tight times there. So while we've got a moment, we want to thank everybody again for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. I'm sorry, not Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, or Kick. We do appreciate you joining us here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out our great partners here, including Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching and setup needs. Visit raceepi.com, link down below in the description. Of course, our series sponsor, IntensityApparel.shop. You can find us at the link down below at IntensityRacing.com. Of course, our great partner over at ButtKicker. ButtKicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of ButtKicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. Check out the full line of ButtKicker products and figure out what's right for you. Visit thebuttkicker.com. As we've got just a few moments here before we get ourselves racing. Looks like qualifying has completed. Let's take a look at our starting grid. Maybe. There's our race info. Let's see if we can get this grid to pop up now. There we go. There is your speeds. Dave Wright, your pole sitter with a 52.205. Ryan Gomes with a 52.206. Michael Lawrence back in 3rd. Devin Butchno rolling off from the 4th position. Back in row 3, we find Rick Ward in the 34, along with Tim Likens back in the 214 in the Family Tradition racing machine. Back in 7th is David Hartney, followed by Kevin Graham in the 88, back in 8th. Ryan Likens will roll off from the 9th position with Matt Allen back in the 10th spot. Riley Gomes rolls off from 11th with Eddie Morris back in the 12th position. 13th will be Blaze Richardson with Charles Balance back in 14th. And rounding out the field here tonight is Dan Spears in the 3 machine. As the field gets lined up behind the pace truck. And we get ready for the action here tonight. 50 laps around Daytona International Speedway. No stage cautions, no points, just bragging rights and the pole for next week's race. Season opener here at Daytona. Of course, a couple of our regulars not able to make it tonight. Joe Wright not able to make the race tonight here. Let's see who else is missing from this truck season here. Brandon Zimmerman's a part-time driver this season. Brian Merle Jr. will be running part-time on Tuesday nights. Same with Brett Merle. So a couple drivers who we're used to seeing here every week, not here. Again, Joe Wright not able to make it here tonight. Sylvain Seguin not in the on track tonight. A bunch of rookies here tonight. So we've got John Bullwalda, who's not here. Dan Spears on track here tonight. Kevin Graham. Ryan and Tim Likens. And Sharon Hill, who's not here tonight as well. So 17 full-time drivers, 5 part-time drivers. But tonight we got 15 trucks on track getting ready to do battle for 50 laps here at Daytona International Speedway. Of course, quite a few things are going to come into play. You can't win this race on your own. You're going to need some help, so you're going to have some teammates or drafting partners out there. These drivers know a couple drivers who are really good at super speedways and always fast. Of course, the 84 of D. Wright always shows speed at the super speedways, along with Eddie Morris in the 8. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, he's won. His only SCSRA win came at a super speedway at Talladega. Of course, David Hartney also shows some speed at these super speedway races. But the driver I'm looking to really show some speed here tonight and get things done would be my pick is the 8 of Eddie Morris. So watch for him to work his way through the field, get up towards the front, and make things happen. But here we go. Pace truck takes that hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. And David Wright leads him down to the green flag, which is in the air. We are racing here in the SCSRA IntensityApparel.shop Truck Series. Two by two as the field gets up to speed. It's going to take about a lap, almost a lap and a half to get up to full speed here. Cheeseburger really pushed on the back bumper of David Wright, but Ryan Gomes in that Cat 5.5 up on the high side. Getting a huge shove from Devin Butchino as they come down the backstretch for the first time, down towards turn number 3. And if you've never watched super speedway racing before, a couple things to watch for here is the draft. Two trucks are going to be able to go faster than one truck. The more trucks you have in line, the more energy that lane's going to have. That's going to be the lane that moves forward. Of course, don't forget these drivers can always side draft on one another. That's kind of what you see Ryan Gomes doing right now, pulling down on the door of David Wright. What that does is these trucks create a big wake like a boat going through water. And if you can imagine that, when they get right on that door, that dumps all that air, that wake of air, onto the spoiler of the truck next to them and can slow them down. Especially with that big spoiler up in the air. These trucks cut a huge hole in the air. And we're seeing that right now. You'll also notice these trucks move around quite a bit here. Got a chat over here on Kick. Says hi. Robin Dunn, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here tonight on the SCSRA Intensity Apparel Truck Series here on Intensity Broadcasting as the field makes their way across the stripe to complete lap number 2. And they are still double file, door to door, 8 rows back. Neither line really able to get as formed up as nicely as they need to be to get moving forward. And now that energy kind of shifting down to that bottom lane as Cheeseburger is giving a huge shove to the 84 of David Wright. Just behind we see the 34 of Rick Ward, not really able to break the bubble to get up to the 47. As Devin Butchino gets a little loose there, goes way up the racetrack. That's really going to kill the momentum of that high lane. But if Rick Ward could get to the back bumper of that 47 of Michael Lawrence, that bottom lane would be able to get going just a little bit more. As one truck pulls out of line, thought about making it 3 wide. That would be the 14 of Ryan Likens. Of our rookies trying to make things exciting early. Thought about making it 3 wide, thought better of it, tucked back in line, and we continue to go 2 by 2 all the way around this racetrack. Right now, these drivers, again, just trying to feel each other out. This is the first time some of these drivers have been on track with each other. It's been a few weeks since we've been on track, so it's going to take some time for these guys to get used to each other as Neon teammates Devin Butchino and D. Wright get hooked up and take over the lead on that low side. Ryan Gomes able to get down to that bottom side as well as here comes Tim Likens up on that high side with a big push from David Hartney down through the short chute towards turn number 1. Those two on the high side really don't have much help, but here comes the 14 of Ryan Likens coming up to that top lane, trying to get something moving up there on that top side. Of course, unlike the Real Truck Series, there is no push rule. These drivers can push as long as they want, as long as they're able to keep the temperatures under control. If we look off the back bumper of Tim Likens, you see David Hartney all over that back bumper, but you see that little grill there on the bottom. That is all the airflow that these trucks have going to the engine. So when you're tucked up right underneath another truck, it's not a lot of air going through that radiator, and these trucks heat up incredibly quick. So you'll see every once in a while that 43 will dart out of line there, get a little air to the nose, try to get the temperatures down in that truck. Because once the dashboard starts to flash at you, it lets you know that the truck's overheating. Most times it's just too late, as you see Tim Likens taking the lead away. He's going to lead lap number 6. Ooh, a little wiggle there out of David Hartney that time. Just got a little looser. I don't know if he got a little shove there, a little bump from behind. Now, you can push pretty much anywhere on the racetrack as long as you're connected, but you can't push the pusher. So the truck that's third place, you see that 14, he's all over the back bumper of David Hartney. He can stay right off that back bumper, but he does not want to push that 43 while he's pushing the 214. That's where we start to see trouble happen, is when people start pushing the pusher. But Tim Likens, a rookie, out front leading right now. So we have 43 laps to go. Pit stops are going to come into play too here, because you can't pit alone, but you don't want to pit with everybody, because pit road can become a very busy place. You want to have at least 3 or 4 cars with you. As you see the 14 get shuffled to the middle. He's in what's called the sucker hole now. He's kind of stuck there in the middle. Now Dave Hartney gets shuffled out of line. That middle lane goes from being the sucker hole to being the lane that has energy. And Chuck Balance making a big jump up to the high side. Up in front of the 214 of Tim Likens. Chuck Balance trying to earn some friends here to get himself up to the front. And Dave Hartney, who's just battling up front, has fallen all the way back to the 9th position. And that's just how quickly it can happen here at Daytona. You can go from leading the race back to 8th, 9th, 10th really quickly if you get a little bit out of shape. Now my pick tonight, the 8 of Eddie Morris, hanging back here behind Blaze Richardson and Matt Allen. Eddie pulling his typical, I'm going to stay out of trouble, kind of hang out in the back, expects the big wreck to happen. Because when it comes to the big one, it's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. And right now, the safest place to be is either where D. Wright is at the front of the pack, or where Eddie Morris is at the very, very back of the pack. Couple drivers slicing and dicing up here. We see the 3 of Dan Spears, who started dead last, now finds himself up in the 6th position. As the entire field goes by in the blink of an eye. Drivers covering about a football field a second. As D. Wright continues to lead ahead of his teammate, Devin Butchnow. It looks like right now everybody's starting to get a little more single file, trying to feel everything out. There's 2 ways to run this race. You can run it to your fuel window. Ooh, Tim Likens gets pushed out just a little bit. Now he's stuck in the middle yet again. And with no help, that is not the place you want to be. Chuck Balance gives that 214 a little bit of room. Pull down in front of them, and field is making their way down the backstretch. nose to tail as you see Chuck Balance giving a big shove to Tim Likens. Now, as I was saying, there's two ways to run this race. You can pit when you're out of fuel, or you can pit early when you hit your fuel window, when you can make it to the end. I know a lot of drivers like to do the latter and pit early as soon as that window opens up. I expect if anybody's going to pull that strategy, they're going to come down pit road somewhere between laps 15 and 18. And I think these trucks can go about 30 laps on a tank of fuel. Second lane starting to line up there on that high side. That's Tim Likens getting the big shove from Chuck Balance and David Hartney. And Ryan Likens up there as well. So that top lane starting to get organized. Starting to move forward right now. As we see Ryan Gomez falling off of our lead two. That's going to slow down that bottom row not being as organized. As you see Tim Likens moving and Chuck Balance going to the front here and taking over the lead. Dave Hartney in third. Just like that, that's how fast things can happen and change here. As we cross the line on lap 14 of 50. We see Ryan Likens trying to get something happening up on that high side. He's got Blaze Richardson giving him a shove there, along with Rick Ward. It looks like Riley Gomes up there on that high side. Nope, that is Kevin Graham up on the high side as well. As again, that bottom lane just not as organized right now as that high side. Well, Tim Likens, Chuck Balance starting to pull away, which is not what you want because you see just how quickly the field is starting to swallow them back up. Chuck Balance giving a good shove to the 214 of Tim Likens. And Ryan Likens getting some momentum up on that high side with a little bit of help from Blaze Richardson. Now Ryan Likens with the head of steam. That high lane with the energy. Ooh, drivers moving all over the place. These trucks are starting to get light. The fuel load on these trucks are starting to lighten up. The air coming around these trucks really makes it turbulent. You see these trucks moving all around. I know iRacing is a simulation, but they simulate pretty much everything right there. And you see Chuck Balance moving up there, trying to do a little side draft there off the 14, but I think it hurt him more than helped him because Blaze Richardson right there giving a big shove to Tim Likens. I'm sorry, that's Ryan Likens. And now Ryan and Tim side by side trying to get the lead, although Ryan's fallen off just a little bit as they make their way off of turn number 4. We got a little break in the action here. Why don't we do a little thing that I like to call pump up the intensity. Saw a little three-wide action there for a moment as Ryan Likens got shoved out of line. Now he finds himself back behind Chuck Balance, trying to make another run towards the front. Now Tim Lakin's going to jump up to the high side. Going to try to give some help to Ryan and Chuck up there. And Tim's now is going to be stuck in that sucker hole. He's going to be 3 wide off of turn at number 2. Surprisingly, though, he's able to hold tight pretty well in that middle lane as Chuck Balance kind of came down, gave him a sniff of draft as David Hartney goes to the lead of the race. About 5 laps away from halfway. So far there's been a lot of moving around here. Chuck Balance, your biggest mover, up 11 spots from where he started. David Hartney up 6 to the point. Blaze Richardson up 5. We've got some big movers backwards as well as Kevin Graham's moved back 5 spots back into 13th. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence back 8 spots, falling back into 11th. Ryan Gomes also back 5 spots into the 7th position. Now Chuck Balance trying to challenge David Hartney for the lead. Getting a shove here from Tim Likens. Likens now falling off. No one really organized. You see the big gaps between all the trucks as they come off of turn number 2. Here's a shot from the iRacing blimp. Big shove coming from the 14 of Ryan Likens onto Tim Likens. Trying to get them back up to the 41 of Chuck Balance. Here comes Devin Butchno underneath the 41 of Balance. And Ryan Gomes in that Cat 5-5 trying to make a move down on that low side as well as the bottom lane. Now starting to show some speed. Starting to roll there on the low side. High side, excuse me. Not quite as organized as that low lane right now. Got 8 trucks lined up, 9 trucks lined up on the bottom pretty well. Only nobody really lined up tight on that high side, and see exactly what that's causing is these drivers to fall back on that high lane. Although Rick Ward's starting to come with a head of speed now. He's getting a shove from the 3 of Dan Spears. And they're trying to get up to that high lane, who's now starting to get a little formed up. Big gap between David Hartney and David Wright, and that's allowing Chuck Balance to pull right alongside David Hartney and try to challenge for the lead. See a little connection issue there for the 14 of Ryan Likens. That makes it difficult to stay there and push when you're having a little bit of a connection issue there. How about Team Neon right now? Just kind of buying their place 1, 2, 3 right now. And didn't notice Eddie Moore's having some issues. Not really sure what happened to Eddie here. Looks like there might have been an issue here a little further back. As I mentioned earlier, Eddie Morris in the perfect position, kind of hanging out in the back where you want to be, trying to stay out of trouble. As here comes everybody down pit road. Large group of drivers down on the pit road, led by David Hartney, Devin Butchno, David Wright, Ryan Likens, Timmer Likens, Dan Spears, Kevin Graham, Matt Allen, Chuck Balance, Rick Ward, all down on the pit road. Leaves Trackside Motorsports out there by themselves, led by Ryan Gomes in that Cat 5.5. Blaze Richardson, Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, and Riley Gomes. They're going to try to run this out. So here's the thing. They know that everybody else just went down pit road. They're going to try to run as long as they can, and they're going to try to stay nose to tail the best they can, because the faster that they can stay lined up and run like this. Oh, nope, I take that back. That plan goes out the window. Strategy is thrown to the wind as here comes Trackside Motorsports down on the pit road to get their pit stops underway. Dave Hartney just making his way to that blend line. He's going to get back on the racetrack. And now you see the shakeup. Team Neon, 1, 2, 3 lined up here. Then there's a big gap back to the 3 of Dan Spears, who's got Ryan Likens giving him a big shove. And there's a ways back to Matt Allen, Rick Ward, Charles Balance, Tim Likens, Kevin Graham. As Trackside Motorsports now makes their way out onto the racetrack. Great job for these drivers getting lined back up. Question is, are they going to be able to stay in front of this pack? Nope, you see, there goes Team Neon. But they're able to get back up the speed here pretty quickly. They should be able to stay in front of these two drivers that are not running nose to tail. Now here's the other thing, strength in numbers. Trackside has 4 trucks. Neon only has 3. That wouldn't seem like that'd be a big deal, but that is actually a huge deal, because 4 trucks can run a lot faster than 3 trucks can, and Riley Gomes needs to get in line. Riley Gomes is going to go up to the front here. He wants to be pushed. And they're going to try to run down the Neon boys. Right now, that interval, they just lost about a second doing that little swap there. See if we can get that there we go. There's the delta. From Riley Gomes up to Devin Butchno, 4.7 seconds. And now it's starting to come down. You see there's 5 trucks lined up now. And that's not what they want to do. They do not want to be side by side right now. They want to be all single file running down this lead group. I think if they can all work together, they should be able to catch Team Neon without any issues. So now David Wright out in front, taking over the lead, being shoved around. Well, you see that lead shrinking now that these drivers are all lined up, single file, 5 trucks. Sorry, 6 trucks, stronger than 3. And you can see that interval quickly dropping. What was almost 5 seconds about 2 laps ago is now down to 3.5 seconds, and they are coming quickly. Last time by, our leaders ran 49.7. And this pack is running 48.6, so almost a full second a lap quicker than those three up front. And again, you see the 14 pull out of line, him in the 3. They need to be tucked up behind these guys, pushing, trying to get back up to the leaders. You can see just how much time, see how much slower the clock is ticking now that they're out of line. Now that interval is actually growing because they are not in line the way they should be, not as organized as they could be. And that's slowing that whole pack down. As you see, Ryan Gomes get a little out of shape there. That time by, the second pack ran an identical lap time as the front pack. So rookies nearly not helping themselves make any friends out there, trying to chase down the leaders, and they want to race here with 19 laps to go. See Team Neon now finally organized, and you see just the difference in organization, what that does on the racetrack. As we take a look at the speed here, David Wright running 175, 174. Now they've, Ryan Likens and Dan Spears now have gotten around the trackside boys. Can trackside get lined up here and try to get themselves in a position where they can get back to the front? And you've got your third group back here: Chuck Balance, Tim Likens, Matt Allen, Rick Ward. They're trying to chase down that second group. Right now, our field really spread out there. As you can see, taking a look at the track map, you can see 3 distinct groups out on the racetrack. Although the one group is about to be, or 2 groups is about to become one group, as these 5 have caught the lead group. And there goes Ryan Likens up to the high side with a big shove from Dan Spears. And trackside is going to go with him, leaving Neon down on the low side. And Ryan Likens is going to take over the lead of this race with Dan Spears. Now trackside up on that high side. They're trying to make something happen here, trying to get themselves up to the front as, oh, Blaze Richardson gets a little out of shape there on the back bumper of Riley Gomes. Oh, gets turned. The 14 goes around right in front of the pack. Caution is out. That was a block gone wrong. And we'll take a look here to take a look at the wreckage rewind to see exactly what happened here. Got a good view here from the blimp. We see the 14 of Ryan Likens coming up to make a block on that high lane. Made it really late. And Riley Gomes gets into the back of the 14. And yeah, from there, everything just breaks loose. You see Cheeseburger just not able to check up in time. Blaze Richardson runs in the back of his teammate. And that is enough to trigger the caution. So that's going to give the lead to Dan Spears. And I don't expect to see anybody making their way down pit road. And I say that, and everybody but Dan Spears makes their way down on the pit road. Looks like Chuck Balance going to stay out as well. Matt Allen staying out on the racetrack, but everybody else makes their way down on the pit road. And not sure if they were just a little bit short on fuel, because it looks like everybody might have came down pit road and just topped off there. You know, a few drivers like Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, Riley Gomes, Blaze Richardson, the 14 of Ryan Likens all came down and took their one reset. The SCSRA does have one reset, so if you are involved in an accident, you are able to get that truck fixed up for free one time. Looks like a couple drivers were forced to take that reset. And reports are that Eddie Morris had a technical issue that caused him to forfeit the race here tonight. Well, the lights on the pace truck are off. We're going to re-rack them, restack them, and get ready to refire them here. Coming to 13 laps to go. Your running order: Dan Spears down on the low side, Chuck Balance to the high side of row 1. Matt Allen, D. Wright back in row number 2. Devin Butchino, Dave Hartney back in row number 3. Then you'll find Tim Likens and Ryan Gomes back in row 4. Rick Ward and Kevin Graham back in row number 5. So as we get ready to restart with a 13-lap shootout to the end, on the YouTube we see go number 3 from Ken-1 cheering on that 3 of Dan Spears. Hoping to see that 3 truck get into victory lane. He's going to need some help here from behind. He's got Matt Allen, who's a good pusher here, so we'll see what goes on as the pace truck makes his way down on the pit road and they approach the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air and we are back racing here at Daytona. Just like that, Chuck Balance getting a big shove from Dave Wright down on the low side. Dan Spears not really getting the help that he needs as that bottom lane now starts to fall apart. And all the energy falling apart as the field's starting to break apart here as they come off of turn number 2. And Dave Wright's going to leave Chuck Balance all alone up on the high side as Dan Spears and Matt Allen work their way down into turn number 3. Dave Wright and Devin Butchino and David Hartney. So 3-9 drivers hooked back up together. They're going to move up to the outside to see if they can get a run at it here. See the 34 of Rick Ward staying committed to that low side. As we see Kevin Graham jump up to the high side as well. A bunch of squeezing back there. Cheeseburger. I'm sorry, that's not Cheeseburger. That was Chuck Balance trying to squeeze down into the low line, but just didn't have room to do it. Now he's going to move back up to that high side, see if he can make something happen. Just like that, going from the front row to the back. And just like real NASCAR, that yellow line is out of bounds. So don't expect to see anybody making any big moves down below the double yellow line, down the backstretch or through the front stretch. That will get you disqualified as David Wright gets out in front with Devin Butchino giving the shove. Trying to get Dave Hartney clear as well, but just not able to do that as Chuck Balance just scrapes the wall there coming through the trial. We've got 11 laps to go. Caution is out on the racetrack. It looks like Chuck Balance and Blaze Richardson caught up in this one. Richardson already had to use one reset here tonight, and it's going to bring up our second wreckage rewind of the night. As we mentioned, Chuck Balance had a little bit of an issue coming through the trial, got a little high and up into the outside wall. And, I might have started a little bit later than that. Yeah, they went 3 wide really quickly. That is the, I believe the 214. Nope, that was the 34. Rick Ward got down underneath Blaze, forced him up the track. Not enough time for either driver to react that they were 3 wide. It just kind of happened that quickly. Here's another view of it here. See the 3 wide racing and just not enough room as Chuck Balance didn't know they were 3 wide right there. Gets into the right rear of Blaze Richardson, sends him head on into the outside wall. So that's going to give us an opportunity to re-rack them, restack them, and get it all going again. See Blaze Richardson making his way down on the pit road. I don't know if he used his reset on that last caution or if he saved it with just a little bit of damage. We'll see here if that truck pops, but he did save that reset. And tires as well, so he's going to take 4 tires, get a brand new truck, and be able to get back out there and into it. Hopefully he's able to get off of pit road before the pace truck. Let's grab a quick word with Blaze Richardson. Hey, Blaze, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Oh, yeah, I got you, buddy.
Man, I know you've been involved in those last 2 yellows. Really none of your doing. I know if you go watch this one back, that was just some 3 wide. That was unexpected. So, but you got a reset. You got 4 tires. You're starting in the back. What's your game plan here to move yourself back up to the front?
Yeah, so like you said, going back up to the front, that's not my plan now. I'm just going to hang out in the back. That last restart, I decided to make a move up to the front, and that didn't really pay off. So I'm just going to let that happen, but with somebody else, and I'm just going to stay in the back, and hopefully I don't get involved.
Well, good luck. Get yourself back up there. It's good to see you making your way through the field, and hopefully you give yourself a chance here at the end.
Yes, sir. Thank you, buddy.
Have a great night. So that was Blaze Richardson. Let's see if we can pull somebody else in here real quick. See if we can get a word with, let's get a word with Devin Butchino. Hey, Devin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Josh, I got you, brother.
Hey, man, you're starting behind your teammate here actually going to be starting beside your teammate here on this restart. Coming to about 8 laps to go, 7 laps to go. What's your game plan here? Are you trying to get yourself here a win, or are you trying to push D right here to the win as it comes down to it?
I just want to get locked onto that Air Jordan bumper again, man. Me and D got hooked up early in this race, first 20 laps or so. And, this time frame, I think it's enough to where you can push and not have to worry about blowing the thing. We were, I don't know what Riley was doing, but we were able to hold a car length and a half, 2 car lengths ahead of the guys behind us. So just really hoping we get situated with Hartney behind us, kind of keep control of this thing. We've been so fast all night. Would love to cap it off for D or any one of us here at Neon, man.
Yeah, some impressive racing here from some of these rookies here up at the front too. So looks like you guys might have your hands full there, but good luck. And what's going to be the game plan here?
Like I said, man, just try to get all 3 of us lined up. We don't know if that'll be on the bottom, the top, the middle, or on the wall. We have no idea, but we've been working really well all night. Obviously, it's hard to. Doesn't matter what you do in the first 49. It matters what you do in the last one. So we have a shot. That's all we can ask for here. Happy to be back. Happy to be partnered with an Intensity, man. It's a gorgeous looking truck, kind of reminiscent of the old days, some of these old truck paint schemes. So it's cool to have the Intensity colors after everything you've done for us. So hopefully we can park in Victory Lane or push one of our Neon trucks to Victory Lane in it. So.
Well, awesome, man. Good luck coming to this final restart, and excited to see how this one's going to play out.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. Hopefully we'll talk to you in a few.
Yeah, talk to you soon. There you have it, Devin Butchino. Going to restart on the inside of his teammate here. David Hartney going to be behind David Wright. So a couple Neon boys lined up here. Well, you've got those rookies here who've been showing some speed. You've got Dan Spears restarting in the 3rd position. You've got the 214 of Tim Likens up on the high side. We've got Rick Ward, who's not a rookie, but knows how to get things done here as well. So watch out for some of these drivers that you normally don't see up at the front. Chuck Ballance, too. He's showed some speed here. He's going to be restarting towards the back, but it'd be easy for him to get hooked up with someone 3 wide, maybe try to make a run up on the high side. So this is going to get exciting here in these final few laps. As we see, looks like the 3 missed a shift there on his downshift, getting ready for this restart. As the pace truck takes that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. And they lead themselves down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air just 7 laps ago here from Daytona. Can those Neon drivers get hooked up here? We see the 3 of Dan Spears giving a big shove to Devin Butchino down on that low side. D. Wright going to slip down in front of Devin. Here comes David Hartney up on the high side. He's getting a shove here from the 214 of Tim Likens. As a few drivers get hooked up on that high side. And the 127 of Matt Allen up in this mix as well. You see the 88 of Kevin Graham trying to get something happening up on that high side as well. Coming to 6 laps to go as they cross the stripe this time. Side by side, door to door, all the way around the racetrack. 14 trucks strong. The 14 of Ryan Likens is being scored 1 lap down. He was involved in an earlier incident. We heard Blaze Richardson saying he just wants to hang back here right now. Let them make a mistake so he can avoid it and get himself up to the front. Right now, the driver who's really in the catbird seat, that's at 68 of Devin Butchino. He's able to really control this race. Be able to push on his teammate. Able to drag that top lane back up to him. So that's kind of, if you can control the race from any position on the racetrack, that second place car down on the bottom can control the entire race. You know, me personally, that's a place I really like to be, either leading or in that second spot there. And you can see why. Just 4.5 laps to go. Devin Butchino staying right on the back bumper of his teammate like he said he would. We're starting to see that top lane push up the track just a little bit, leaving that middle lane open. Is anybody going to try to make a push through that middle lane? We have just 4 laps to go. And as I say that, we see Blaze Richardson making a move to the middle here, getting around the 34 of Rick Ward. For him, it's go time with 4 laps to go. And me, I'm thinking about the same thing. Between 3 and 4 laps to go, if you're that far in the back, that's when you got to start making your moves, trying to get yourself back up to the front. Super Speedway Racing is kind of like playing chess at 200 miles an hour as David Hartney is giving a shove to the 3 of Dan Spears, trying to get that rookie out in front. I don't know if he didn't know that was the game plan of the Neon Boys to try to get in line here, but right now Hartney trying to get that 3 truck up to the lead. All tightly packed as they come across the stripe, just 3 laps to go. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence making some moves now. He's up into the 8th position. He's slicing and dicing through the field. Started on the back row. Now he finds himself moving to the front as he's now up into the 7th position. Right on the back bumper of his teammate, Riley Gomes. Ooh, Chuck Balance forced down below the yellow line. He's going to have to get back in line as you cannot pass or make moves down below that yellow line. They come off of turn number 4. Popsicle sticks are up in the air. Just 2 laps to go here at Daytona. Dave Wright, Devin Butchno out in front. Dan Spears, though, trying to get something happening up on that high line. You see Ryan Gomes. He's right there in the inside underneath David Hartney. Could he? And you see Riley Gomes right behind. Could the 2 Gomes boys get hooked up here and make something happen in the last couple laps, in the last couple turns here? Ooh, little contact there between Gomes. And that was Likens as Likens moves up through the middle. Tim Likens trying to make something happen here as Devin Butchno forced down below the yellow line. David Hartney gets turned around. Caution. Caution flies. Big wreck here on the backstretch. Oh no, Blaze Richardson caught up in once again. David Hartney in it. We see Ryan Likens got a little piece of that. Saw one truck missing its nose. I think that was Chuck Balance. And that's going to bring up another wreckage rewind. As we said, there was 2 laps to go, so moves were trying to be made here. So we're going to go back quite a bit here. Let's take a look from the blimp, and we'll watch this one unfold. As we see that 14 makes the move down to the middle here. David Hartney shoves himself up the track, tries to get away from the inside lane, and that allows Tim Likens to make the move. Then he comes down the track. You see the 3 give the block there. That forces Devin Butchno have to get out of it, and then David Hartney just gets tagged by Matt Allen. There's a really, really tight 3-wide battle. Devin Butchno gets a little piece of that right there. You see Chuck Balance, hard contact with the 43. Blaze Richardson, Kevin Graham up into the outside wall. Looks like the 34 up in the outside wall as well. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence got a little piece of that. So tough break for quite a few drivers. Let's see if we can ride along here with Chuck Balance and see what he saw. Yeah, it just happened so fast. Just nothing you could really do. And he got hit again there on the way out. We'll ride along here with Dave Hartney. There's the contact there. Just a helpless feeling because there's nothing you can do. Fortunately, though, Dave Hartney looks like he had a reset, so he's able to get a brand new truck. Kevin Graham also able to get a brand new truck. Rick Ward has a bit of damage to that 34 machine. The one truck I'm curious if they have any damage, and that is the 68 of Devin Butchno. And with the magic of iRacing, we're able to actually get a look at this truck. It looks like the damage would be on this side. If there, yeah, there's a little bit of damage to that 68 machine right in that right door. Doesn't look like it's enough to really hinder that truck. You can see the fenders are pretty straight on that truck, so I would not be too concerned about that truck. He should be able to continue on and be competitive. Here we go. Lights on. The pace truck are off. One lap to go back. Green flag racing. We're going to have ourselves the most exciting words in motorsports. Green, white, checker. The SCSRA does have 3 attempts at a green-white checker. There will be no yellow flag after the white flag flies. So we've got a couple chances to do this here. Right now, David Wright down on the low side. He will be your control truck. Dan Spears up on the high side. Neither driver really have any help behind them as far as teammates go. Devin Butchino back in the high lane. And we see the 214 of Tim Likens, who made that aggressive move to get up there behind David Wright as the pace truck makes its way down on the pit road. The green flag flies. We have just 2 laps to settle it yet again here in a green-white checker, and a big jump for the 3 of Dan Spears as the field makes their way down into turn number 1. Dave Wright able to sneak out in front, but here comes Dan Spears up on that high side with the push from Devin Butchino. See Riley Gomes up there as well, trying to help out. Ryan Gomes down on the bottom, trying to get that bottom lane moving. So it's battle of the Gomes there on the low side to see which lane's going to have the energy as the field makes their way off of turn number 4, coming to the white flag. Just one more lap of racing as the white flag flies. Dan Spear out in front. Oh, makes the block there. Devin Butchino checks up that entire bottom field around row. Here comes Riley Gomes up on the high side. Riley Gomes trying to get some help here from the 34 Rick Ward as they come down the backstretch. Right now, though, Dan Spear in a world of trouble as the Neon drivers make their way up to the high side. Going to hang him out to dry. Big wreck on the backstretch. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence involved. Here comes the 14. Oh, makes some contact with Dan. Able to almost save. Does he save it? No, he does not save it as the battle here comes between Devin Butchino, David Wright, and Riley Gomes as they come down the short chute, down towards the start-finish line. Who's it going to be at the stripe? David Wright gets the win over Devin Butchino by a nose. A little celebratory bump right there, and Ryan Gomes comes through and gives his celebratory bump as well. But how about that win by David Wright, being there, right place at the right time? As they came across the checkered flag, here's the replay. That's how much it was right there at the line. David Wright, your winner, as he makes his way back towards the start-finish line for the celebratory picture. He's going to burn it down here on the front stretch first. See, he's really celebrating here down on the front stretch on the Daytona logo. Eddie in the chat says D, and then Joe Wright says let's go, as he watches his brother get the win here tonight at Daytona. Let's take a look at the final results here tonight. David Wright gets the win. Devin Butchino comes home in second. Riley Gomes comes home third. Dave Hartney and Matt Allen round out your top five. Dan Spears comes home sixth. Kevin Graham back in seventh. Ryan Gomes, Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, and Blaze Richardson round out your top 10. Rick Ward 11th. Tim Likens 12th. Ryan Likens 13th. Charles Balance 14th. And Eddie Morris back in the 15th position. Let's see if we can see what happened here on this backstretch coming to the line. Or coming back to the white flag. We see some contact there. It looks like between Rick Ward and Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. The 55 goes around as well. Is Kevin Graham involved in that one? And then coming to the final corners here, big block by Dan Spears, trying to hold off that 214 of Tim Likens, and almost able to save it. He comes up the track. You see Matt Allen involved in that, just nowheres to go. And then as they came across the line, that was your victory. Let's see if we can get a word with our top three. Starting with our third place finisher, Riley Gomes. Riley, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
Man, great job coming home third. I know you're trying to do everything you could there to get something happening at the end. Talk about that last lap and the wildness going on and what you were trying to accomplish there.
Yeah, I think that last lap I left Ryan. I probably should have let him come up and then followed him there. I was hoping we're going to have a gap there where he could jump up behind me on the top line. But then I was kind of hoping for a big push behind it. It never came. And then I guess kind of chaos happened there.
Yeah, chaos ensued from behind. You were able to put yourself in the right place at the right time and get yourself on the podium. What was the strategy there with the trackside guys? I saw you and Ryan were up there. I know Cheeseburger was in the mix there as well. Did you guys have a strategy going into that final stretch there?
Yeah, we're trying to kind of simulate what D-Wright and Dev did there. Just have at least two or three teammates there to push somebody to the win. But right before we went green, we were kind of like, hey, we're split up here a little bit. This could be carnage. So if somebody makes a move, just try to do your best to help them out. And coming down that back stretch, as soon as I saw D right behind Dev, I kind of chalked it up as I was going to be third coming to the line there.
Well, a great run there, getting yourself in the third place here and getting yourself on the podium here in the Clash. Of course, before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight, Riley?
Yeah, trackside team. All these guys are a bunch of fun to race with. Even when Blaze is getting wiped out left and right, he's always back there joking and he's having a good time. So big shout out to them. It's always fun to race with them, even if we don't bring home a win. It's still a fun night. Shout out to the boys at SCSRA. They put on a great league. Dev always says it's like a big family, and it really is. I will say tonight it was kind of a little different without the Morel boys here. So looking forward to having them back tomorrow night.
For sure, and good rookie class here. It seems like a good showing out of them here tonight too. So, again, great job coming home on the podium here tonight, and good luck tomorrow night. I'm looking to be back on track. Looking forward to being on track with you boys tomorrow.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Josh. Thank you. Have a good night.
You as well. So that was your third place finisher, Riley Gomes. Let's get in your second place finish here, Devin Butchino. Devin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Got you, brother.
Well, you said it at the beginning. You just kind of wanted to get on D Wright's back bumper and push him up there to the front, and that's exactly what you did. Talk about the strategy there coming as the chaos ensued behind you there on that last lap.
Yeah, well, I mean, Trey might be a rookie, but that was a really smart move to split us up. I thought we were going to be in the catbird seat with D starting second and me starting fourth, but that was not the case. So we had to push Trey clear, and he made a heck of a block on us into one. I'm happy we kept the truck straight. He couldn't have timed it any closer than that. It was a good block by him. And then D got to my bump right at two, and he's like screaming at me. He's like, I'm clear, go. So I just went to go, and I saw we got clear behind us, and he said, all right, we're clear. Now I'm going to go beat you for this thing. And I couldn't block the run. I tried to time Riley coming, but him putting it on the apron there kind of took away any chance of a shot we'd get. But super happy for D, man. It was a great race, man. We're back and we have a race like that. I'm super excited and just really happy for D. I know he's lost a couple of these things in the last few seasons, so for him to get one off his back, the monkey off his back, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it seems to be the trend in the last couple Super Speedway races. Drivers getting monkeys off their back.
There we go.
But
shameless plug.
Shameless plug. I had to. You knew it was coming. But in reality, I mean, I couldn't be more impressed with the rookies here. Talk about that rookie class out there tonight, mixing it up, making some smart moves. I know. Looking at it, that move that the Tim Likens made, going 3 wide, didn't seem like the smartest move, but I thought it was actually a brilliant move trying to take that line away. Talk about how the rookies were racing out there, and are you excited for this rookie class this year?
I am, man. Everyone here seems super eager to be with us, and I don't think you can ask for much more than that. I don't know what exactly caused that wreck, but I thought it was a perfect 3 wide move because he was trying to split up me and D, and then Trey getting pushed by Hartney. And I think the guys that were 3 wide with Tim were clear and fine. I don't think it was an issue in that aspect of it, but just great moves. I didn't race around everyone, but I thought Trey did a good job getting pushed. And it's just a small sample size of what we're going to have next week and going into the season. I was really impressed with everyone. Tim, his son Ryan. From what I saw from the cockpit, it looks like everyone did a great job. And like I said, I do a lot of talking to these guys before we even get them in the Discord, so get to know each other a little bit. And on both sides, everyone just seems super, super happy, super eager to be here. So we're really excited for that.
Yeah, and it was good to see some other names up at the front. Not usually used to seeing Chucky up there leading some laps and getting pushed there. So exciting to see everybody having a good race here tonight. I know points weren't on the line, but still the bragging rights, at least, getting to know each other. It was a great race from up here as well. So I know you couldn't be happier with the product that went on tonight, Devin. And of course, before I let you go, the floor is yours. Anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, thanks everyone for being here tonight. Obviously, we're missing a few guys, but being a non-points race, not too big if you miss this one, but we still had a good turnout for a non-points race. Thank you to you, Josh, everyone at Intensity for partnering up with the SCSRA Dayton over IntensityApparel.shop. Really happy to have them come on board with the title sponsor. They've been with the SCSRA before for as long as I can even remember. I don't think we've had anyone else from the beginning, so I'm happy to grow that partnership with you guys, everyone on that side. Shout out to D-Wright. getting that first win. Doesn't matter if it's not a points race. These things are hard to win anytime we step out on the track. So shout out to you, Josh, Intensity, Dev Sports Cards, Morris Customs, not McKinleyville. I don't want to think of McKinleyville. Shout out to Junior. But yeah, just excited to be back, man. It was a busy off season. We got a great group of guys that are really looking forward to racing with us, and we're looking forward to having them. So
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow night because I'm excited to get back on the racetrack myself.
yeah, we got 33 guys signed up, man. There's gonna be some good dual racing.
That's going to be exciting tomorrow night for sure. So we're excited to be here for the rest of the season, and yeah, I'm looking forward to another fantastic season here on Tuesday night. So again, Dev, congrats, not just on the second place finish, but on continuing to grow this league, and we look forward to the rest of the season with you guys.
Yeah, appreciate it, brother. Couldn't do without you.
Have a great night.
You too, Josh.
That's your second place finisher, Devin Butchno. Let's bring in your winner tonight, driver of the 84 Jordan machine, David Wright. Dave, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
What's up, Joshy? I got you, man.
Well, I know being up in New York, not too far from the Baseball Hall of Fame, it sounds like you kind of pulled a Babe Ruth tonight and called your shot. You said to me before the race, don't worry, I'll be talking to you at the end of this one. And here we are, you parking in victory lane, man. How's it feel to get that win here tonight? Even though it's not a points paying race, still getting that win in the SCSRA.
I'll tell you what, man. It was Nostra Davis tonight, right? Not only that, Josh, but if you ask Dev going through 3 and 4, I go, hey, man, I'm going to clear you here, and then I'm going to pass you and fucking win this thing. So there we go. And it happened. So it was fun tonight. I mean, a lot of clean racing, a couple cautions there at the end with some pushing, people trying to get up through, caused 3 lanes. But other than that, it was a good, clean race. Have fun out there.
Yeah, it looked like a really good race up here from where I was sitting too. And Devin said that you said that to him that you were just going to clear him and win this thing. Talk about the strategy there, though. Not starting that last restart, you didn't have your teammate behind you, and you were still able to get hooked up and get yourselves up to the front. What was the strategy call? Who was making that call to get yourself up there? And were you surprised it worked out, or did you kind of play it the way exactly how it fell into your hands?
So Trey made a good move, right? I mean, really the only move he had, Dev was going to be behind me if I stayed up top, right? And that was our plan. Obviously, he'd push me, we'd clear, we'd go down, and then we'd probably race for the win. It actually probably worked out in my favor that Trey took the top. I got a bit better jump than him. Timed it up pretty well, got through the gears pretty good, and was able to clear him and got a good push from behind there. Going down the backstretch, and then was surprised Dev cleared them all the way through. And when they got by me, I was staying in it, so I wasn't letting out into the corner. And once I had cleared the top guy that was pushing Dev, I don't know who it was, but I told him I was clear, go, 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 and we were out and behind, and that's when I called my shot there. So, yeah, man, it was fun. The restarts shook it up a little bit at the end, you know what I mean, with some of the position, and even the one before that took the top line to try to get me, Hartney, and Butch all together after Eddie had blanked out there. So good fun racing. Missed these guys over the last 3 weeks.
Sure, I know you got some shout outs in the chat here. Both Eddie and your brother Joe said congratulations to you. Well, Eddie's exact word was D, and Joe Wright just said let's go. So there you go, having the support from your teammates that weren't on the track with you here tonight. I know that's always a special thing to have that support behind you as well.
Yeah, man, interesting. I mean, it's probably the reason I won is because they weren't here. It's usually me pushing them to a win. Those guys are a little better at super speedways, but I mean, I won a bunch of officials. I was telling these guys today, I got 2 this week and a second place by like a 6,000th or something. So I like it, man. It's fun, and especially when it's clean. It's really, really fun when you can race clean and people make moves and can keep their stuff underneath them.
Well, again, congratulations on the win here tonight, Dave. Before we let you go, anyone want to thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
I want to thank you, man. I want to thank Intensity, right? So the partnership's been a long, long time. Probably the length of this league and whatever names were before it as well. It was interesting seeing Dev's car out there. Looks a lot like Joe's original truck the first season that I had signed up. So it brings back a lot of memories with that stuff. Really, really thankful for Intensity and you, Josh, obviously, as always. And then, Eddie Morris Customs. Everybody's seen that Flight Air Jordan machine. It looks really, really sexy. It's the Jordan 5 box. I got a couple more in the package for later in the season as well. So appreciate him. He's the best in the business. Please hit him up and take care of him. And then obviously Def Sports Cards, right? And the admins just keeping this running. Everything he does with not only his business but with the league itself. Really, really appreciate it. So, and then obviously, Racing Clean at the end there as teammates too is really, really good. So appreciate that.
Well, again, awesome job. Go celebrate, man. Congratulations on your win here tonight. And good luck tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to getting on track again tomorrow night. And looking forward to kicking the season off for the rest of the season because I'm really looking forward. I think this is going to be the best season yet.
Yeah, I agree, man. A lot of people there, especially in the cars tomorrow. So I'll be on the butt of that 81 for sure. If I see you out there, bro.
I appreciate that, and good luck tomorrow night. We'll talk to you again soon.
See you, Josh. Thanks, dude.
There you have it. Dave Wright getting his first win in the SCSRA here tonight in the Clash at Daytona. That's going to do it for us here tonight in the SCSRA IntensityApparel.shop truck series here from Daytona. Look forward to getting the season kicked off next week right back here at Daytona for the official Daytona race to kick off the season. Again, my name is Josh Hall. We appreciate everybody joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or over on Kick. I saw a couple people watching on Kick tonight. We do appreciate you joining us. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcast. And that's going to do it for us here tonight. And as our boy Atman Weiss would say, over